All right. Well, I haven't done a video on this show in a while in the review format. We are here with Assisted Living Season 5, Episode 11, entitled Cancel Culture. And the reason I did this video, or am doing this video, is due to the fact that, well, I saw the promo for it, or the sneak peek that they released on the Assisted Living social media. And I saw it had to do with Miss Anastasia and her venture into the realm of social media to get a specific amount of followers in order to help with her potential role on an upcoming soap opera. So I felt that, you know what, I think I might actually check this one out, because guess what? Social media is what I do. Specifically YouTube, but I have a bunch of social media accounts, so I feel like I qualify to speak on the conversation. But I did not read the synopsis beforehand, and it turns out there's also another plot involving Sandra wanting to change her college major. And as someone who studied communications, finding out that's exactly what she wanted to switch her degree to, as well as the reason for her career path being like, I want to, do communications and, focus on like social media and stuff. And I'm like, holy crap, this is a episode that is tailor-made for me. So if you are an assisted living fan and it's like, Jeremy doesn't talk about the show anymore, hey, here I am talking about the show again. Now, will this video do well? I hope it does. But hey, this gets a 10 out of 10. I'm not just saying this out of bias, but I think it does a great job with covering both topics of discussion, being that college students change their majors, and then you have the older generation. Well, I'm not even going to say, because Anastasia is older, that, oh, this is a coming of age story of an older person going on social media. The cancel culture thing is relevant to any age group. It doesn't matter, especially like, if you're ignorant to the way that, social media works. So like I said, it doesn't matter what age you are. If you say, post, or comment the wrong thing, people will destroy you. Now you're probably thinking, well, Jeremy, don't you think you should criticize the fact that Anastasia needs 30,000 followers and she magically gets that number within a matter of hours? I am not going to complain, due to the fact that in continuity, she is a well-known actress, meaning that even though she's never been on social media, if she were to get an account and manage to get some traction on there, I honestly believe she could have gotten that many followers within a short amount of time. It makes sense. I mean, it might take her, a couple of days to get the verified, blue check, but regardless, I think it is semi-realistic. But I'll focus on that storyline first, then I'll talk about the college major second. So basically, she needs 30,000 followers because her agent is like, hey, you know what? We got you a potential role on this soap opera, but you need to, have a social media audience. And if you can get to 30,000 followers, we can guarantee you a spot on this series. So Philip is going to help out. And basically, he has to start from scratch. Hey, download the app, set up an account with your email, profile picture, and then start engagement. The best way is live streaming. But before we do that, let's make sure you get some traction on your page. Why don't you just follow a bunch of accounts and like a bunch of pictures, and people will follow you back in return. And while Philip goes to, get everything ready for the live stream, that's what Anastasia does. Reggie makes several random pop-ups during the episode, which leads to the cliffhanger ending. Now, this could be an ongoing storyline since I haven't really followed much of the series lately. I don't know where this is coming from, but you can just kind of tell from his random pop-ups that he kind of feels like he's being forgotten, ignored, and kind of in the way while everybody else is doing things. And he might have a bit of a problem. But the live stream actually does well because they're at 15,000 followers, and Anastasia just gets on there and, tells the truth. Philip is asking questions about, like her career journey, any sort of inspiration for those who are looking to get into the career field of acting. What is it like? She talks about being authentic, determination, and, the follower counts just keep going and going and going. But then some negative comments come to find out that she lost 5,000 followers. Wait a minute, what's going on? Well, it turns out she was being a bit trigger finger happy with her likes. So, Anastasia was liking a bunch of posts in conjunction to what the person was wearing. Oh, I like this, these high heels. I like this jacket. I like this coat. I like these shirts and pants. And come to find out, she actually unknowingly came across as someone who didn't care about animals due to the fact that she liked a bunch of photos on one specific account where the person, was wearing certain clothing, animal skins, while also being in photos of a dead giraffe, a dead panda, and the list goes on. So from there, as soon as Anastasia got a bit of traction, she lost a lot of followers and got a lot of backlash because, she hates animals. So as a result, she went from creating her account to getting 30,000 plus followers to then being canceled. And I'm like, holy crap. Now, on paper, it sounds ridiculous, but when you look at the world we live in today, this is fact. As soon as you become a trending topic, it's a wrap. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have a strong enough fan base, you're going to thrive. But in terms of individuals who are up for a specific job, let's say they are in a position of power, they have like a movie or TV show project lined up. If they're on the verge of being canceled, they get dropped quick. Their agents turn their back on them. Fiddle's like, hey, we need to do damage control. We need to put out like a statement or something. Can you call, your agent? And then she calls and then she gets hung up on. And this is how it works. It is ridiculous, but that's how it works. Because like Philip said, if you like the wrong thing, or if you like one thing on one person's account, people automatically assume you agree with everything that person/account stands for. And I'm like, man, they nailed it on the head. This is too true. Like, people don't understand the intention behind your like or your comment. And it's like, let's say you can like someone's post because it's a, a quote or scripture, but then the rest of their page has a bunch of like racist and, anti this and phobia that, basically, let's say you're scrolling and Instagram sends you that post that has an inspirational scripture or a quote just because you're scrolling along and you see it. You don't know what account it's from. You just see a post you like and you keep going about your day. But that's how it is, especially if you're getting a lot of traction on a specific platform. You might get pushed into the algorithm, and then the more people see it, well, it's crazy. So yeah, I really wanted to applaud the series for the excellent showcase of how social media can make and break you. Man. Okay, and then we go over to the Sandra situation. So basically, she's supposed to be heading back to school for a study group on Sunday, but it turns out she stayed behind because the group got canceled. Her parents go out to run some errands, aka mainly grocery shopping, and Vinny knows that, hey, I know you're lying. Wait, what? Tell the truth. What the study group? What are you talking about? Like, I know it didn't get canceled. I don't know what you're talking about, Grandpa or great grandpa. But then she actually gets called out for lying due to the fact that she does this thing, but she kind of scratches her neck. Yeah, since it's been a while since I covered the show, I forgot, like, Sandra was MIA because she went to college. And I believe at the time it was because she was on Superman and Lois. Awesome series, by the way. I just watched season 4, episode 8. Excellent show. I believe that the 4th season is the final season, and after season 3 finished up, they announced they were going to be scaling season 4 back a lot, which meant a bunch of the main cast was removed from the series, outside of some of them making like little cameos here and there. But yeah, for the most part, I believe that most of the cast we knew from the previous 3 seasons are no longer in the show, which is sad. So I figured that because of that, I definitely see Sandra coming back more on assisted living. And I was right. Also, I believe she played Natasha Irons in the series. She was really good. I liked her dynamic with Clark and Lois's son. But enough of me glazing that show. Back to this. So yeah, so she wants to change her major. Turns out she was an English major. She's taken like 4 or 5 classes already. But she wants to change to communications, which, like I said, I'm a bit biased. That was my undergrad. Communications, advertising, public relations. Man, good stuff. But the problem is she knows her parents are going to freak out about it due to the fact that, well, it's a money thing. And I get it. I get it. But the thing is, even though I haven't been actively reviewing the series or, watching it week to week, I usually just wait and like if I have some free time, like I'll binge like 4 episodes of the show. Sandra, I get it because, Leah and Jeremy don't have the best responses to situations involving their kids. Usually they overreact and it's up to, let's say, Vinny or one of the other people in the retirement home to give some positive insight. It's almost like they have more mature and appropriate reactions or conversations with the kids as opposed to lashing out to them like their parents do. And it says a lot. So I really do appreciate it. But yeah, she does get around to talking to her parents about her situation and that she wants to change majors. And I love how Grandpa Vinny is there to back her up. And Philip is against it, mainly because of the money aspect of it. But at the same time, she does have a plan. Like, I want to do communications because it's, what I feel like I can actually do very well. I had to go to college and figure out what I wanted, and it's what I wanted. And I love that Leah instantly jumps on it because even Sandra told Vinny that my mom said I ought to do communications. So the fact that Leah was like, you know what? I told you from the jump. I loved it because she said it with a smile on her face. It wasn't like see, Sandra, I told you before you started you should do communication. Now, what, you're 5 classes in, you waste all that money and now you got to do it again? No, I just love the fact that she recognized that, oh, my daughter, I knew, basically showing she knows her daughter more than her daughter knows herself. But I love the fact that she was supportive. Now, Jeremy, again, was thinking about it from a money perspective. And, well, I mean, as I guess she wasn't using like a bunch of student loans and whatnot. I mean, she is lucky that her parents are funding her college that way. By the time she gets out, hopefully she doesn't have like 5-6 figure debts like some of us did. But I do think that, Sandra, her plan was pretty intense. It wasn't just a career situation where she wanted to change her career. Her major, but also the fact that she wanted to go back to the local college. And it's like, wait a minute, what? And then, Jeremy was doing the math and figuring that it would cost more money. And by the end of the episode, Sandra's like, you know what, fine, I'll show my dedication. I will finish up my English degree, go become a teacher, save up enough money, then go back to school to do my communications degree. But it turns out her parents were supportive. Like, Leah said, I showed your dad the numbers, and in the long run, it would be cheaper for you to come back and do your college at a local school, not to mention we missed you. And I love how Jeremy's like, man, I bet you want to come back not because you missed us, but because of Lindor. No, it's like, you really think I would switch schools just for a boy? Yeah. But no, I do doing it for you all, and I do miss Philip. Just don't tell him I said that. But yeah, it is interesting because, like I said before, I worked at Liberty University's academic advising call center for the online department. And I knew that as soon as Sandra mentioned the situation involving changing the, essentially her degree plan, changing her major, but then on top of that, also changing schools, there are 2 things that need to be done. Well, for one, if she were to stay at her current college, you want to talk to one of your advisors there and compare your current degree plan in English to the one for communications to see if any of the classes you have already taken could be utilized on the communications degree plan. That way it's not like those 5 English courses would fall by the wayside. Maybe they can be used as substitutions for, some of your communications classes, or at the very least be electives. And heck, maybe if she has already taken enough classes to get a minor in English, that actually might not be the worst thing where she can have a minor added to her degree. I mean, for me, I had a bachelor's of communications, advertising, public relations, and a minor of biblical studies because I needed to take some electives. And I'm like, well, we had to take mandatory Bible classes, so why not add on like 2 more, and then I'll have enough to get electives, and I'd be able to use that to get a minor on my degree plan. Look, when I was in college, I sat down for hours at a time when they gave us the degree completion plan audit. Essentially, it was an online program where you can pull up your, I know if you've never been to college, or if you went to college and you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is going to sound like I'm blabbering, but I'm going to speak on it because I went through it, and that's why this episode really resonated with me. I pulled up my degree plan on my computer, and then there are a bunch of like what if scenarios where you can like click the buttons to say, hey, what if I change this major, or could I combine this major with that major? I figured out how to get the most degrees for the least amount of money, where, what was it? Two masters, 5 graduate certificates, a bachelor's with a minor, and an associate's degree. Yeah, I figured out how to do that in like 4 years. So, yeah, she would need to do that. But then, since she wants to switch schools, she would, given that Sandra already had the paperwork ready, so the moment her parents said, we can do it, she submitted the forms. I feel like she was probably proactive and did all the research I'm blabbering on about now, which I am very impressed by. Seriously, it was really good. But basically, yeah, she would want to check with the local college, speak with their admissions team, and say, hey, if I were to transfer from my current school to your college, how many of my credits would transfer over? And if I were to switch to a communications degree plan, how far along would I already be? How much longer would I have left? All those things are relevant. So I love that well, it's hard to tell which one was the A plot and the B plot because they were both so good. You have Philip, who is helping Anastasia out with social media, and then you have Sandra, who wants to change her degree in communication so she can, take classes on social media and whatnot. And it's really, really cool because there weren't really a lot of classes focusing on that when I was in college. It wasn't until after I've already graduated and I was doing what I do on, on my social media that it became a thing. Because back in my day, like if you told somebody you were a YouTuber, they kind of scoff at you. But now it's like if you say you're a YouTuber, you get a lot of attention. Like it really is. Like it went from like you're a what to, oh my gosh, like that's what I want to do. It's really cool, but I stay rather low key. So like, whenever I go to, let's say, the dentist office, or if I get my groceries delivered, it's like, hey, it's the middle of the day. It's like, so do you work from home or anything like that? Because yeah, typically most people only order food during the day, if they're older or something and, they don't really get out. And I'm like, oh yeah, I work from home. Oh, cool. What do you do? YouTube. Wait, what? Yeah, it's funny because that's the response I always get, but that's how it is nowadays. And I just love the fact that there are actually courses out there that can help out. But since I was self-taught, it's proof that you don't need to go to school for that kind of thing, but it is helpful. But then again, there are a bunch of different, videos and articles and whatnot. If you focused and looked at online, you can learn all that stuff for free. But I guess, kind of like when I was in school, high school, and then going to college, it looked good to have a degree in something to show you're an expert. But once again, in the world we live in, results are what matter, because keep in mind, Anastasia needed 30,000 followers to, get that role. So having the degree is one thing, but then having the accounts to back it up is another. Like, if I ever applied to another job again, I'd have to put on my resume, so wait, what were you doing for the last 7 years? I saw that you worked at this online department, but then, yeah, so I was a YouTuber in eBay, okay, for 7 years. And then I show that, wait, you almost have 300,000 subscribers and over 70 million views, and you've sold over 25,000 items on eBay. Yeah, that's right. I can showcase that, I know what I'm doing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So the last thing to talk about is the Reggie plot line, where by the end of the episode, it turns out that Leah found a note saying that he had broken into the medicine cabinet and got a bottle of sleeping pills, and then had the money to pay for the broken lock, and then he kind of disappeared, and then everybody's freaking out. So like I said, this could be a storyline that's been unfolding in the background for several episodes, but I just haven't really noticed because I haven't watched episodes yet from the recent season, aside from this one. But yeah, this was great. I loved it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If this video gets enough views, like a few thousand, maybe I will add assisted living back to my regular review schedule. But like I said, I don't mind popping in every now and then if there's an episode I actually really like and I want to talk about it. So catch you in the next one, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.